Hey guys, what's going on? I'm going to start the video a little different this week. So, I'm getting a lot of questions this week on my social media channels. I've been posting a lot of my food that I've been doing, what I've been eating. And a lot of people are asking me, what is that? What is this? What is this? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing this? So I thought this week's video, it'd be good to kind of show it because for the last 2 weeks I've kind of been doing a diet called the Vertical Diet. The Vertical Diet was created by a man named Stan Efferding, who is a power lifter and a professional bodybuilder. And what Stan started to notice is he started having a lot of stomach issues when he ate. He ate the typical bodybuilder, chicken, rice, veggies, protein shakes. He did that whole thing, but he had a lot of stomach problems. And so he started talking with people who have a lot of alphabets under their name of things that they do with nutritionists and food science, PhDs, things like that. And him and a couple guys created this diet. And so I've been trying it. And one of the reasons I'm trying it is I have a lot of digestive discomfort. I have a lot of irritable bowel syndrome diseases that run in my family. And the last thing is, my mom was asking me to help her clean up her diet, do several things, because medicine she's on for an irritable bowel disease called Crohn's disease. So I didn't know much about it. So I started looking at it and found that this is a diet that could easily help her, and it's easy to do. And so what this diet does is it starts with a baseline of stuff, which is white rice, which is very easy to digest, and red meat. So those are the two main things on this diet. Now that's not saying you can't eat chicken, you can't eat fish. Those things are encouraged. If they're fine, do those. But the main two things that he recommends are red meat and rice. And the reason he picks red meat is red meat is high in iron. It's a very nutrient dense by the way the cows process the food through 4 stomachs. And for men, it's very high in a lot of the building blocks that you need for testosterone and muscle growth. So he suggests red meat. Now, he talks about in several videos, if you can afford to have grass-fed and free-range chickens, that's fine. If you can't, get what you can afford. So I don't pay for that stuff. I buy regular 85-15, 90-10 ground beef. I buy regular white rice and I cook it up, and then I put a little bit of chicken stock and I have it. So this video is going to go over that, and it's going to also talk about a lot of the things that aren't in the diet. And so there is some restriction on this diet, but what he restricts off are foods that are called FODMAP foods. And FODMAP is an acronym for fermented oligosaccharides, I hope I said that right, monosaccharides, and polyols. And so what those basically are a simple chain sugars or carbs that typically don't break down and don't digest in your system. And they cause a lot of discomfort, and they cause a lot of gas, and they cause a lot of things in your stomach to not feel good. And so my mom has a lot of problems. She can't eat a diet that's very high in fiber, and this diet is very low in fiber. That's one of the things that a lot of people suggest of why you shouldn't eat it. But she can't eat a lot of fiber due to her gastro problems. So I wanted to try it. I wanted to see how it was. So for the last 2 weeks I've been doing it. And for about the last week and a half, 2 weeks, I've been posting my meals every night. And so this video is going to go over what I've eaten, why I've eaten it, and what I've done. So all 3 meals are covered. I've got 15 meals that I'm going to talk about. A lot of them are the same. There's just some small changes that happen. So let's get going with the video with the first meal and my favorite meal every day, breakfast. So let's go. Alright guys, so let's start with the first meal of the day, which is breakfast. And breakfast, typically I'm going to be using the same kind of stuff. I'm using 2 cups of egg whites, 2 whole eggs, and about a potato and a half. And I'm basically baking them in the oven, cutting them up. And really the only thing I switch is, I eat some baby carrots with it, and I may either have some orange juice or an orange, or I make this smoothie that has spinach and uh, orange juice in it. And that's typically my breakfast for the day. And it's filling and it keeps me full till lunch. So that's breakfast. So my next meal that I'm going to do, and I eat the same lunch meal every week. And so what my typical lunch meal is going to be 1 cup, and this week I picked basmati rice, or in the second half of the week I used jasmine rice. 1 cup of that, uh, 1 cup of green pepper, 1 cup of zucchini, and 8 ounces of 85/15 ground beef. I put about 6 ounces of chicken stock in there to kind of flavor it up a little bit. I ate a small thing of baby carrots and 10 almonds. So on the screen, you'll see the macros for these meals and then basically drink water. So these were my lunches for the week. All right, so my last meal, I do try to switch up my last meal of the day. I did twice this week use the 85/15 ground beef, 1 cup of rice, one cup of bell pepper, 1 cup of zucchini. Um, but I also try to change up a little bit. I have a little bit of cranberry juice for the iodine. I have the baby carrots. Some days I have 5 almonds, and a couple days I actually have like some Greek full fat Greek yogurt as kind of like a treat. 2 days this week, I actually had salmon. And 1 day this week, I actually made like a steak and rice. I also add the 6 ounces of stock to this, and that kind of gives me the flavor. And as you see, Friday night, I actually had a small orange instead of the cranberry juice. So I have the macros up on the screen as I'm talking about this, so you kind of see what my meal consists of.